What's going on, guys? Welcome back to GameSkinny Spotlight on BlackTideTV. This is a weekly series where every Friday I select the best articles from GameSkinny that most relate to my channel and discuss them here on YouTube. This series is mostly just meant for the journalists of these articles. I'm trying to get a little bit of exposure out there for them, and I'm providing a little bit of bonus information on these articles as well. So I'm not just reiterating the news that's already out there. I want to give you guys my own opinions on what's going on in the news because I am personally a gamer, obviously, and I want to add some extra examples where I can and stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of the topics you see here, make sure you head into the description down below if you're watching on YouTube to find the links to the original articles. That's what this series is all about. You guys need to go over there and check out the original articles. Check out GameSkinny. It's an awesome site. I used to write for it, so just go over there and do that. If you're watching on GameSkinny, make sure you check out my YouTube page. I would appreciate a like on this video and a subscribe if you haven't already. But without further ado, let's jump into the articles today. I do believe today's video is going to be a little bit shorter than previous weeks just because there wasn't a whole ton of relatable news to my channel this week. However, we do have some Fallout news. That's why you're seeing Fallout 4 gameplay again today. I think I'm just going through one of these dungeons, like the Watts Consumer Electronics or something like that. And then I'm going to just fade right into heading into Diamond City just because I kind of actually started walking and then I got into an area that I definitely should not have been in because every enemy was like totally kicking my ass. So I'm like, oh, I definitely shouldn't be here. I almost died like 10 times because I'm right at the very beginning of the game. So I just kind of cut that part out because it was kind of ridiculous. I was just like running around in circles trying to run away from a super mutant suicider for like 15 minutes straight. So I'm like, yep, not going to use that. So I'm just going to trim right from consumer electronics right into approaching Diamond City, and then we're going to do a little bit of in Diamond City, and that should be all the gameplay that we need to discuss the articles today. The first article that we have here is actually going to be a little bit special. I've got a special guest that's going to be talking on the show today. Pierre is a writer on GameSkinny. He's now an editor on GameSkinny, and he's been with GameSkinny for a long time, and he's written an article today, or not today, but this week, where he's talking about the best games that have been ported from computer or from PC to console and what games you should definitely check out if you're playing on console and you've never played these PC games, etc. And it's a really awesome article, but I had no idea where to go with it, what to say about it, because I didn't know much about any of these games because I don't play PC personally. I didn't know really how to go about talking about this article, so I just got him to talk about it. So I'm going to turn this over to him. He's going to commentate for a couple minutes and he's going to talk about his article. When he's done, we're going to get back into the Fallout 4 news and then a bunch of other stuff as well. So, Pierre, take it away.
Hey, thanks BlackTideTV. I'm Pierre from GameSkinny. So BlackTideTV has asked me to talk about my article that I wrote. It's 10 PC games that are worth playing when ported to console. So effectively all of these PC games are coming or have come to console, and it's all of the games that you should be playing when they are ported to console. The first game is Super Hot. It was released way back in February 2016 for PC originally, and it was successfully kickstarted, and the tagline is "Time only moves when you move." It's a bit of a lie, but anyway. Effectively, Super Hot plays best with both mouse and controller. So if you've just got a controller, then, you know, you've kind of got roughly one of the best ways of playing it. Works perfectly on a console. Basically, it's just for anyone who loves shooters, really, you know, super stylistic. And that's kind of it. It just makes you feel like you're in the Matrix. It's pretty awesome, you know. Buy it now. Then we got a bit of a cheat. We got Inside. Yeah, it's an Xbox One game originally and was ported to PC, but I can break the rules because it has come to PS4. So Inside's made by Playdead, who, if you know, they made Limbo. So Inside's very similar to Limbo, but it's just better in every single way. If you love a good atmospheric game, buy it. It's set in a maybe dystopian future world. We don't really know because it doesn't really tell us, but seriously, you want to play it. Now we have Project Cars. This is even cheekier than Inside, because it didn't come out in 2016, it came out in 2015. I had the Game of Year edition in May, but I had to put it because, you know, P-Cars is basically one of the best racing games created, along with Assetto Corsa very recently. It's just It's just amazing. If you're a car fan, whatever, if you're a Going Fast fan, just get it. I don't need to tell you anything. Just get it. It's amazing. It's really good. And then we have Dirt Rally of the Dirt series, and this time it's now actually good. Well, I mean, the previous Dirts were good, but, you know, it's pure rally simulation. It's not, like, perfect simulation. There's some weird things to it, like in Project Cars, but it's, you know, it matches the best rally games. You know, Richard Burns Rally, Colin McRae Rally, it doesn't matter, you know. Those games were just incredible. It may not be fully simulation, but it feels fully simulation, and that is why you should buy it if you like driving around places in awesome cars, which you do, obviously. Come on. Then we have Mount & Blade Warband. So Mount & Blade action RPG. It's coming to PS4 and Xbox One after 6 years. Not sure why. So Mount & Blade's always had this kind of make your own story, and you know you start from randomer, you pick your side, and you know you just kind of make your own story from there. So you go from useless to the greatest thing on the planet, I guess. Yeah, like, action RPG lover, seriously, just buy it. You know, it's Mount & Blade. You must know that. You know, that series. Just buy it. Then we have Darkest Dungeon. So, Darkest Dungeon came out on the PC at the start of 2016 after a long... actually not that long, maybe about a year's early access stint. It's a side-scrolling roguelike dungeon crawler. So Darkest Dungeon's story is basically that you have inherited a mansion, and you're in that mansion's dungeon, and you're clearing it out of all the ghoulish death things that are down there, and that's pretty cool. I mean, come on, it's a side-scroll roguelike dungeon crawler. If, you know, games like Diablo, dungeon crawler, you love it, come on. You know, it's kind of turn-based combat as well, so, I mean, it's a very niche audience, but anyone will love it that likes those sort of games. You know, if roguelike dungeon crawler ticks your boxes, then buy it. It's one of the best examples you will ever get. Then we've got Verdun, which, named after the battle of the same name. Verdun is much more like Insurgency or Days of Infamy. You know, it's much more tactical, but also not milsim, and yeah, basically, it's a crawling game that captures the pure essence of trench warfare. You know, it doesn't allow you to run around in diving tanks and, you know, fly biplanes and etc. You're just in the murk, in the gruel, in the trenches. And it's not the most pleasant game because of that, but it is absolutely amazing. I just buy it. Like, I don't need to sell it. It's going to be great, and it is out now. And then we have XCOM 2. Do you want to rid the world of aliens and a military dictatorship? Yes. Okay. Do you like turn-based strategy games? Yes. Okay, get XCOM. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. You know, just kill aliens. Make XCOM the greatest alien-killing thing ever again, and you're all good. Do you want to kill aliens? Of course you do. You want to save Earth. So, get it. And then we move on to Halo Wars 2. If you don't want your alien killing to be turn-based and you want it to be real-time, Halo Wars 2 is yours. Play as brutes or humans and a whole bunch of things, but basically, Halo Wars 1 was made by Ensemble, RIP Ensemble. You were great, but this is made by Creative Assembly, who Total War. This isn't Halo Total War, but it's just still going to be great, so yeah. And it really works on controllers. Always thought Halo Wars was good on controllers. It was a very bare bones RTS. But if you want some RTS, then you have to wait till the 21st of February next year. But look for Halo Wars 2. It is looking promising. So there's an open alpha beta coming soonish to PC and Xbox One, which is nice. And now, the final game is previously mentioned Assetto Corsa. It's absolutely laser targeted perfection. So much that they laser scanned every single track in the game, so there's not many. It's absolutely awesome. If you can control a car perfectly while driving at about 150 miles an hour, going up the famous Eau Rouge, or Eau Rouge, because French words of Spa, then I declare you're driving God. But that is until you try driving the Pikes Peak hill climb in Dirt Rally with the Peugeot 208 T16, because you're not really going to drive it, you're going to crash that track. But if you do perfect it, then you're just no longer driving God, you're driving Titan. So that's it, basically. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just get all the games that sound good to you, but effectively. If you like racing, you're in luck, because there's lots of racing games. Honourable mentions to Oxenfree. You should get that as well if you like crying a lot, I hear. But that's a thing. So now back to Mr. BlackTideTV, so he can, talk to you better, because Pierre out.
And I'm back. Round of applause to Pierre for appearing on the show. My first article that I like to cover today is, of course, Fallout 4 stuff. There's actually 2 Fallout 4 articles from the same person. Clearly, I've passed on the mantle. When this game first came out, I was covering the shit out of it. I was doing, guides and all kinds of opinion pieces, and I was, the Fallout 4 guy on GameSkinny. I made, 20 articles on this game in, the first 2 weeks. But clearly, I've passed on the mantle. Ty Arthur's got 2 different articles for Fallout 4 today. The first one being a review on the Nuka World DLC. Now, he has left nothing to the imagination. He's completely gone through this, and it's an amazing review. And I'd like to talk about the DLC as he has. However, I haven't done the DLC yet. He got an advanced copy, and he was playing it, and he's got a ton of guides out on the site already. So he's probably done the DLC. He's probably completely finished his DLC at this point. I haven't touched it yet. So he's probably got a little bit more insight. Again, if you're interested in the deeper thought process that goes into all this stuff, check out the actual article using the description or the link in the description down below. But I'd just like to talk about his review, go through what he's saying here, and kind of come up with my own conclusions. So he's been talking about how it's a really great DLC, but it points out a lot of the flaws in the game. He says it's kind of nice how you finally get to be the bad guy, but it points out that there's no reputation system in the game. There's no being the bad guy in the original game. Because if you do anything bad in this game, you're instantly branded a criminal, and there's nothing that you can do with being a bad guy. There's some companions that like when you do bad things. There's some people that like when you do drugs or kill people or eat people, or there's companions that like that sort of thing, but everybody else in the world will not react to it. Whereas in previous Fallout games, it was if you chose something, your reputation would be either good or bad, and you could become the Wasteland Hero or the Wasteland Devil or whatever, and everybody would know your reputation by the time you showed up. So if you showed up to a new settlement or something and you were wholly evil, they'd go, oh my god, it's the bad guy of the whole universe, and they'd start shooting at you right away, or they'll run away from you. Or, that was the whole idea of this reputation system, is that you could be whatever you wanted to be, whereas in Fallout 4 now, you can't do that. You're wholly good all the time. You're this guy, you're this character, this guy or this girl who's going out to save their baby, and then you happen to do all this other crazy shit along the way. But it's there's nothing, you can't just say, know what, I don't want to do that. I want to be the bad guy. I want to kill people, and I want to I want to be the Negan of the Wasteland, of the Commonwealth. I want to be this terrible person that rules over everybody, and everybody has to give me what they have and all this stuff. You just can't do that in this game. Whereas Nuka World, it kind of touches on that, but it doesn't wholly touch on that. You get an experience where you get to be the boss of all of these other clans and these underlings of these raiders that you have, but still, you're not really the boss. You still have to go around and do everything for them, which is another big flaw with this game, in my opinion. Even the original game, you can become the leader of, you can become the general of the Minutemen, right? You're the 100% the leader of the Minutemen. Everyone bows down to you and the Minutemen. Still, Preston Garvey comes up and says, I need you to go and do this for me. I'm pretty sure I'm your boss now. You can go do that. You can go clear that settlement or whatever. You can go help those farmers do whatever they're doing. Why do I have to go and do that? I'm the boss. I'm the guy that everyone should be reporting to. Why do I have to go out and do all these menial tasks? And Ty Arthur's talking about this in his articles. He's like, yeah, you're the leader of all these raider groups, but you still have to go around and do everything for them. So it's not really worth it being the leader when the leader has to do everything. It completely contradicts being the leader. So it's just kind of silly that it's like that. He talks about how there's all characters return. There's a character who returns from Fallout 3. There is. I'm not going to leave any spoilers here. If you want more details, check out the article. There is a new character that's kind of like a sadistic kind of automaton, kind of creepy thing that is reminiscent of another character in New Vegas. There is a lot of other kind of different details that go into this DLC that haven't been in the game before. Number one being the bad guy. But still, there's not really a good choice. You can't be the good guy either. You're just wholly evil now. And it's just, it doesn't really impact the rest of the game. Like, you can be wholly evil in this DLC, wholly good in the rest of the game, and the two won't commingle. Even though you're going to be running back and forth from Nuka World to the standard Commonwealth to complete all your missions and stuff, it doesn't affect, like, whatever you do in one doesn't affect what you do in the other. You can be like the hero of the world in the Commonwealth and still be just the ruler of the overworld of raiders in Nuka World, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't impact each other, and that's kind of silly. Definitely something that should be implemented in this game by now. Like, this is something that was implemented into previous Fallout games. Why did they lose that in Fallout 4? I don't know why that happened. It's a shame that it did. Last thing that he talks about is like gang warfare, and that there's these 3 different raider clans that you are immediately put in charge of, which I can't wait to see how you're just put in charge of 3 different raider clans. Like, you just walk in and they're just like, oh, bow down to the leader. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm interested to see that. But he's got these 3 raider clans, and you've got to kind of make them work together, but they're 3 different raider clans, so they're going to be attacking each other and stuff. The rule of the whole park is, like, don't get caught killing each other. Like, you can kill anybody you want, but just don't get caught doing it. So it's going to add an interesting kind of layer of how you're going to go about talking to these raider clans and getting them to do what you want. I can't wait to see the full story, like the actual main story of this DLC. It's going to be interesting. Maybe it's going to be like the standard Fallout 4 storyline, where it's like you have to pick a faction. You have to pick Brotherhood of Steel or the Institute or the Minutemen at the end of the game, and you pick one to be the leader, and then everyone else kind of turns on you. I wonder if that's what it's going to be like in the end of the Nuka World DLC, where you pick one raider clan and then the rest turn against you or something. That would be definitely very interesting. So overall, he gave it an 7 out of 10. He said it's a good send-off for the last DLC of this game, which, between you and me, I think there might be more DLC coming, because it's going to take them a while before they make Fallout 5 or Fallout whatever it's going to be, because between 3 and 4 there was New Vegas. But whatever next Fallout game they're going to make, I do believe that there's going to be an extra DLC or 2 put in there between now and then, just because I've said it before, I just don't think there's enough DLC in this game. Even though there's quite a bit of DLC in this game, it doesn't feel like there's enough to keep me playing for all of the years that it's going to take them to make the next Fallout game. So that's all Tyre had to say. Another article that he did, which I'm not going to go into too much detail on, is he talked about how to start the Nuka World DLC and how you need to put on your best power armor, get your best weapons, you have to run this gauntlet, and you have to get into Nuka World. It's a pretty great article. I'll link that one down below as well, even though we're not going to talk about it in today's video. Next article that I'd like to touch on today is the Hue review from E. Spalding. This looks like an amazing indie game. I'm not big on indie games. I don't play them that much. I like more of my AAA titles, my shooters and stuff like that. But I do dabble into indie games now and then, and Hue looks amazing. E. Spalding gave it a 10 out of 10. Crazy good review. And it just looks like a really great game. I probably would also give it a 10 out of 10. I haven't played it yet, but just from the trailer itself, that trailer is amazing. 10 out of 10 on the trailer for sure. But the game looks so much fun. If you haven't heard of it, it's on the PlayStation and Xbox stores, as well as on Steam and all kinds of stuff on PC. You can get it. But it's just such a simple idea, but it gets into so much complexity. Basically what you have is this grayscale kind of world, and there are certain colors that you see in the game. Like, say there's like a wall and it's made out of blue bricks. And what you have to do is use your color palette wheel, and you can turn the background to blue so that those bricks disappear, and then you can pass through there. And then you say there's another wall and it's purple bricks. Now you have to turn the background to purple, and then you can get through there. It's just such a simple idea, but if you actually watch the trailer that's at the end of this article, you'll see that The puzzles are going to get crazy in this game. It's just a 2D platformer, but the puzzles are going to get insane just with all the different colors that you have. You've got this crazy color wheel towards like the end of the game. I guess as you move through the game, you get new colors, and you just kind of go through, and you got to use these different colors to try to avoid traps and all kinds of stuff like that. It just looks really fun. As such a simple game can be, it just looks amazing. I can't say anything more than that. You guys have to check out this trailer. Moving into the next article, we've got EA servers kind of getting crashed on Battlefield 1. This one was written by Jeremy Digit Brown, and he's just reporting on the Battlefield 1 beta servers just going down, and actually all the EA servers going down the other day. I think this was actually yesterday. I was tweeting about it when I was trying to play the Battlefield 1 beta for the first time, and it was driving me nuts because I just wanted to get on this beta and try it out, which we're going to talk about the Battlefield 1 beta in a future video. Trust me, I got some things to say about that. But for the first time I got on here, actually I got on and then it was like PlayStation Network is not available because they were doing maintenance. And then it finally got on, and then I'm trying to get on Battlefield 1, and it's like, nope, failed to connect to EA, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm refreshing the page like 20 times, and it's like, nope, you failed to connect to online. Okay, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Apparently, it was not just the Battlefield beta. Apparently, FIFA 16, Madden 17, Star Wars Battlefront, all of the servers were down. And I've heard rumblings that it was because they were hacked. They were being DDoSed by Poodle Corp, which is, of course, a huge hacking kind of conglomerate thing that's been attacking just everybody recently. They've been attacking YouTubers and all kinds of stuff. Apparently, they turned off the PlayStation Network servers for a little bit a while ago. But they're just hacking everybody, and I gotta say, I don't understand what the point of all that is, to ruin everybody else's day by hacking shit that people enjoy. Like, if you want to hack something, go hack, like, I don't know, something to do with the government or something, where you can screw over people and make the general public happy at the same time. Like, don't hack our video games. That's just a dick move. But apparently it was Poodle Corp that was hacking all this stuff. The servers are back online now, even though that it's kind of been patchy for some users. It's been like on and off, kind of glitching in and out. But for the most part, the servers are back online now, so you can get back to playing your Battlefield 1 beta. Again, we're going to be talking about that in a future video. I want to talk about the Battlefield 1 beta, how I feel about it. Let's just say that content is going to be changing on this channel. That's for sure. Or plans for content changes are going to be changing on this channel. But he was just reporting on these outages that have been happening on the Battlefield 1 beta. If you've been trying to get into the Battlefield 1 beta and it's not working, or if it wasn't working the other day, it should be good to go now. It more or less seems to be the week of free demos or something. We had the Titanfall pre-alpha last weekend, then we have the Battlefield 1 beta this week. And next weekend, September 9th to September 12th, we're going to have a free Overwatch weekend. So this is from Blizzard Entertainment. They've announced that Overwatch will be free to play on PS4 and Xbox One next weekend for whatever reason. So Angie Harvey's reporting on this today, and she just said that this is going to be pretty cool. It's like a beta, but not. There was already a beta for Overwatch, and in Overwatch's beta, you could only play with certain heroes, you could only play on certain maps and certain modes and whatever, but this is actually the full game. This is access to the full Overwatch game. You get all of their heroes, all of the maps, all of the modes. You've got, actually, most of the modes. You don't get all of the modes, but you do get quite a bit of this game. You get the ability to level up, earn loot boxes. You get to unlock customization options and all kinds of crazy stuff. And what's really cool is if you do decide to purchase Overwatch after this free weekend, all of this stuff will transfer into your new game. So whatever you happen to be able to unlock and rank up to during this weekend, just this free weekend that you can play the whole game during, it's going to transfer over if you do buy the full game of Overwatch Origins. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately for PC players, this is only for console, so only Xbox and PlayStation get access to this weekend. Xbox players have to have Xbox Live, Whereas PlayStation players somehow don't need PS Plus to play this. So I'm kind of interested in how that's working, because generally to even go online on the PlayStation you need PS Plus, but apparently you can play this Overwatch free weekend without PS Plus this weekend. So interesting. If you guys canceled your PlayStation Plus after that crazy increase in price, you can still play the free weekend of Overwatch if you want. Xbox players, unfortunately, like I said, you still have to have your Xbox Live Gold subscription to be able to play it, and PC players can't play it at all. But if you haven't played Overwatch yet, definitely try it out. I haven't played it yet. I'll be trying it this weekend. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm definitely interested in giving it a go. That is it for this week's GameSkinny Spotlight, guys. Just a few articles that related to the channel this week. Some Fallout 4 stuff. That really interesting article from Pierre. The Overwatch beta happening, or not beta, I guess it's not a beta, it's a free weekend, the game's already out. So Overwatch happening and the Battlefield beta kind of getting hacked or whatever. So just a few articles this week. I do have a lot of other stuff coming out on the YouTube channel just in a bit. If you found any of these articles interesting, if you were watching on YouTube, click into the description down below, find the link that you were interested in, and head over to GameSkinny, check out those articles. If you're watching on GameSkinny, check out my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're going to be doing some more Call of Duty content today. Apparently the Infinite Warfare reveal happened today, and I just gotta research that and talk about that a little bit. I've got some more first look camos and stuff coming out, so ton of stuff happening this week on BlackTideTV. So make sure you're there. Like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.